What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So I want to address what the real threat to the United States is right now. And honestly, it's not what you think. Because everybody right now is talking about the recession. Are we in a recession or are we not? Right? The American people are continuing to spend more money, but many are wondering what is actually going to be our inflation rate for next month. What's it going to look like? Is it still going to be 9.1% or is it going to come down? Well, we will not know until August 10th. And then we got Congress, who right now is attempting to pass something called the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. But honestly, the real threat to the United States at this point may be something else entirely. And here's what's going on. As the United States falls deeper into a recession, the likelihood of layoffs honestly is imminent, which means that the American people are going to have really two options. One is they spend less money and they rely on unemployment benefits, or the second option is they go and get a new job. Now, this is where the issues really begin. Right now, about 43% of all Americans are falling deeper into debt, and this is not a good sign. And I say this isn't a good sign because when you fall deeper into debt, it means that you are having to rely on credit cards, rely on lenders for auto loans and obviously home loans and things like that. But having debt that you can't pay down or even pay off is only going to cause problems for the American people financially. Now, this is going to put a limit on our consumer spending. And if we can't spend more money, then this recession could take a little bit longer to actually get out of. And again, let's talk about why debt is such a major concern. Because I have seen so many people lately talk about how, yeah, I just bought this new car. I'm really excited and that's great. I'm happy for you. The problem is if you cannot afford the car, what happens then? Well, in a recent survey done by LendingTree, I want to address this because I think these numbers are staggering. It shows that the bulk of debt being racked up will be done through credit cards, and that's about 22%. The other 10% is coming for auto loans. Now, what's really scary is who plans on racking up the most amount of debt. Because here's what we know, is that Americans do expect to rack up more debt throughout the rest of this year. We know about 56% of millennials plan to rack up more debt. We know about 55% of Gen Zers plan on getting deeper into debt. Their hope is not to, but their plan is, gonna have to. We know less than 41% of Gen X, they plan on accumulating more debt throughout the rest of this year as well. But here's the big one. Less than 21% of baby boomers plan on going further into debt. That's a big number. And the reason why these are big numbers is simple. We know baby boomers have been through multiple recessions, right? The problem is some of the younger generations have not. They haven't been there for the big recession, right? They weren't there. That's the issue. Is if you haven't experienced it, how do you know how to plan for it? Well, here's what I can tell you. Right now, many people believe the only way through this recession is to go into debt, is to get another job, is to cut spending, right? All possible ideas, possible plans, but is it the best option? Well, here's the troubling part. The troubling part about what is actually going on right now is that credit card debt is getting more expensive. I've said this before and I will say it again. As the Federal Reserve continues to raise rates, this means your credit card debt is likely to get more expensive. But a survey done just recently, it is actually reporting that 20% of Americans are afraid to check their credit card statements for multiple reasons. Many say they don't want to see the damage that they've caused over the past month, and I get it. I've spent a lot of money on a credit card before, not really knowing exactly what the damage was till I looked at the statement at the end of the month and I was shocked. But one of the things I've always been able to do is pay off my credit card every single month. It's a luxury. That's a true luxury that not everybody has. But some say they don't care to look at their monthly statement at all because they don't want to see the payment. It's not about the damage that they caused. It's not about the interest. It's about the payment. They don't care to see it. They don't want to know what it is. It automatically gets deducted from their bank account. They're fine with that. They do not want to see it. But what most people are saying right now is they do not want to look at their credit card statements because they don't want to be shocked by the interest rate hike. That's the problem. Is if we are being so blind and we do not want to go and see what's actually happening to our finances, that's going to create a major concern. And one of the things that I've seen a lot lately is many people are just spending money. They don't know how much money they actually make. They're just spending it pretty much blindly. They also don't know what their expenses are, their monthly recurring expenses, which is a huge issue. If you don't know how much money you're bringing in, you don't know how much money is going out, that's going to create major, major problems down the road. And that's the real threat to the United States at this time, is the American people. The amount of money we bring in versus the amount of money that we spend. Honestly, you have to know both of these numbers. So here's my advice to you. First, create a budget. Know how much money you're spending. If you don't know how much money you're spending and you don't know how much money you bring in, you do not know whether or not you are operating at a loss or you're able to save money. That's a big difference. So that's the first thing. Create a budget. The second tip that I have for you guys is right now in a time of uncertainty going into this recession, one thing I can tell you is if you can find a second job, if you can find another income source, go and do that. Create some additional income. Put some money into savings. Invest, because now is going to be the greatest time to invest while markets are low and we can ride them up. So again, it's not financial advice, but I highly recommend you go and look for something else. Go and look for more, make more money. That's the best thing you can do at this time, and also save a little bit extra. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.